All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with a little week 2 recap, but we're first going to dive into Thursday Night Football. And of course, we have our takes about, the Vikings, the Giants, and the Bengals. We are joined here today with, a special guest. He's a long life Steelers fan. There will be a little heat between the tension of, Will and him. This is Nick Diamond. But he will definitely have some takes on the Steelers game this weekend and the games they previously played. If you got anything to say, Diamond, floor is yours, my brother.
I'm taking the under. I'll be at the game drunk off my knocker. And should be a good game. I think it's going to be like an old school, run the ball type of game.
10-7 game. Can't wait.
Nah, bro. Stop it. It's going to be a calm. It's going to be a calm 13-7 game, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's 3-2, bro. Go down in history.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. All right. We'll get into all the bets later, but all right. Thursday Night Football. What did you guys think about it last night? Anything that came out to you? I mean, I have a few things I want to talk about, but I want to hear your guys' shouts. Anything about the Jets-Pats game?
Aaron Rodgers looks elite.
Yeah.
He looked really good last night.
I think he looked really good.
I was just about to say he did bring the heat at home. His first home game for the New York Jets without him getting injured within 4 plays. I'll give it to him. He did sling the ball. I mean, 2 players that I loved, Alan Lazard and Tyler Conklin. I won my bag on Alan Lazard, but Tyler Conklin showed up leading the receiving yards of like 96. It was crazy. Like, what the hell are we talking about? What about the Pats though? Like anything with the Pats, you guys think?
I think the Jets defense played unbelievably well, to be honest with you. I mean, in the first half, they only allowed 64 yards of total offense, which is insane. I mean, it's the NFL, dude. Everyone can score. Anyone can make a play. The Jets defense, I think more so than Aaron Rodgers, was incredible. Incredible, man. I think they're a force. Absolute force.
Fair enough.
I agree.
I just think the Patriots are now, coming back down to earth. They were riding high for those 2 weeks. Now they're going to come back down to earth, and they just look predictable. It was like, oh, run, pass, run, pass, run, pass. It didn't seem like they really tried to like switch it up or go like play action. But that's what I saw at least.
I mean, I gave you a shout last night. I popped you on the phone. I was like, they're bringing out the run game more often because that's the trend in this league. It's either going to be a highly passing league or it's going to be a highly run league. There's never an in between. And we see teams like that. And logically, Ramondre Stevenson, say what you want about him. The stat line yesterday was horrendous, yes. But he is logically one of the best running backs in the league. If we think about it, he is definitely top 10. Yes, he's undervalued because he's on the New England Patriots, but like, dude, he's there. I mean, it's just fucking Patriots O-line is atrocious. It is atrocious.
Terrible.
Like Jacoby Brissett couldn't throw the ball at all last night. And I saw in week 2 against Seattle that there was a lot of protection, but there was also penalty after penalty after penalty. That is just that's what kills you in a game.
I think, like, for me at least, I don't think it was so much of like the Pats O-line being that bad. I just think the Jets D-line was just outclassing them. Also, they had 2 rookies starting on that O-line. If you're going up against the Jets D-line with 2 rookies, you're in for a long night.
The only thing I will say about the Pats is that they're very young. Like, they don't have, Morgan Moses that the Jets just signed from the Ravens. They don't have who did the Giants sign? Illuminor.
Oh, Illuminor.
Yeah. They don't have a Luminor on the bend. They don't have like a Darisaw or Tyrone Smith, right, for the Bengals.
They're rebuilding.
Yeah.
They don't have they don't got a bend.
I think
they don't. They're set. I'm sorry, I just got to bring this up.
Go ahead.
Quinton Williams off snap threw the center 5 yards back and was called for a hold because he fell down and pulled him. That was ridiculous. And he's a rookie center. I mean, dude, they're a very young team. I saw what they did to Seattle their home opener. Good stuff. But when it came to the Jets last night, man, poverty is hitting New England harder than anything else right now. harder than anything.
I think, like you said, they're still young. I think they'll be a good team in the future. But what I will say, I just want to highlight two things that I found absolutely hilarious about last night's game. Two things. Greg, I texted you about this. They went to Thursday Night Football like commercial break, and they showed Aaron Rodgers in a Packers jersey, which is hilarious. And the second thing, dude, the second thing, I don't know if you guys saw Breece Hall get absolutely
He got
mollywopped
and
on
dropped,
the pass block.
and then they called that of penalty or foul.
They called that back, dude. Breece Hall got demolished. It was all over my Instagram feed. It was hilarious. But hey, dude, he laid down a crazy block for Aaron Rodgers. I thought it was insane, dude. Insane.
Yeah, he played well overall though.
Yeah, Breece Hall looked great. He looked great.
Tavai had Breece Hall's number all night last night, and like that. Speaking of which, also
I don't know.
Another thing I want to say, they are trying to bring that Green Bay feel into New York, because if anybody saw like the drone display that they had of Aaron Rodgers, he wasn't wearing number 8. He was in number 12. Like it was all greened out, and it was the player throwing. It was like a quarterback, and it saw 12. Like,
they just messed that up.
Joking? Like
they had to.
That's just MetLife planning committee, dude. They all suck.
You know what pisses me off though?
Dude.
Is that the Jets, their home games seem so much better presented than any Giants home game. Like, I don't know what it is. When they run out on the field, they have all the lights. Bro, you can't say that yet. Come on.
No, I can, because they are.
They did that last year, too, and the year before that. So, but still, it pisses me off.
It's the fucking hype. It brings in the hype. It's all about the hype that says, oh, we have Aaron Rodgers now. We have Garrett Wilson. Okay, cool.
All I know,
to be honest,
they got star players, dude. They got
the
star
Jets
players.
are better than any of our teams.
You're telling me that Brian Dable is gonna run out between the smoke and then fall on his ass, dude? Like nobody wants to watch that.
No one's watching that. No, true.
I will say, and I will go to the grave with this: Sauce Gardner is the most overhyped player I've ever seen in the NFL. He sucks. He's a baby, and he is not legit. Okay, yeah, he made nice plays as rookies. He's not legit. He is not legit.
He's like the third youngest Pro Bowler ever. Something like that.
He let Demario Douglas get behind him, which in that who's Demario Douglas? Pop Douglas. What?
Did he get the ball?
They didn't score.
He had 7 receptions and I think like 70 yards, and Sauce is on him the whole game.
They didn't score.
They didn't score. But
and that's what it comes down to, man. If you can prevent points, all right.
Fair enough.
That's not because of Sauce, though. That's not because of Sauce. That was because of their D-line. The D-line dominated. Sauce barely had to do anything. I don't know.
I think
I don't feel one or two ways about Sauce, to be honest.
I still think he's going to be elite in years to come, man. To be honest with you, I just do.
I'm more of a Pat Surtain guy myself when it comes to corners.
Okay,
fair enough.
I like him.
All right, so Thursday Night Football pass. It's gone. Now we got to get into this Week 2 recap. I know, Will, you have some things to say about Tua's injury, so rip it off, dude. Like. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's just crazy that now we've seen Tua have 2 just terrible concussions on primetime live TV within the past couple of years. And I've been listening to a lot of guys on YouTube and just a lot of talk show hosts and discussing everything. My first question is, with the new rules in the NFL regarding the Guardian caps and allowing them to wear them, why, when you have a player, one of your star players, who's big influence on your team, big influence in the league, prone to concussions, why is he not wearing that? I don't get it.
Doesn't solve the problem. Whiplash causes concussions, not impact.
I understand that, but I still think that it would help. And I think that the other thing, at this point into his career, he's he's 27 now. I think he's a year older than we are. He's already had 3 major concussions. At what point do you have to say, like, this is it? Because at the end of the day, it's just a game, right? He's already got his money. He's already got his bag. He can set himself up for his kids' kids.
He don't got a bag until
no, he signed
Miami Dolphins.
No, he
signed a contract, but it's not fully guaranteed. Although the Miami Dolphins,
guaranteed.
The Miami Dolphins owner came out and said if he planned on retiring, he would just send it all to him.
Oh.
which is and most of that original money from the contract was guaranteed. And I think you just have to be honest with yourself and look and say to yourself, like, do I want to end up like any of these other guys who've had just crazy CTE stories, like an AB, as sad as it is, and just doing stuff like that? I think at the end of the day, I don't know if we're going to see him play again, man. I really don't. I don't think that Tua will be back in a Miami Dolphins uniform, man, because it's so dangerous. And it's not like a broken arm or a broken leg or something that's tangible for a recovery. It's not. And it's progressive. So I in my personal opinion, I don't think he should be playing anymore. I think he probably should consider retiring. And I think he very much is. But we'll see. And he definitely should not play again this season. That's for sure. Should not.
I mean, I'm kind of in agreement, but also it's kind of his fault, dude. If you look
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna kind of say that.
This one is his fault.
This one, he dove. What quarterback dives head first? And like I saw his neck immediately, bearing it was DeMar Hamlin who injured him. Immediately snapped back and fell. And it was the most awkward position for a head to go. And I was like, dude, that's on you. You had the capability of sliding for the first down. I think he was 2 yards past the first down marker, and he still dove head first.
I understand. Listen, I completely agree with you there on that point. But at the end of the day, it still happened.
Yeah.
I still think that it's probably not a good idea for this guy to be playing football anymore, if we're being completely honest. It's a shame because he is an influential player. He is a great player. He's really rejuvenated that Miami Dolphins offense and the culture down there. So it's going to be, just very interesting to see over the course of the season what he decides to do. And it's a situation that I'm definitely going to be watching out for because it is sad. You know what I mean? It is sad to see a player go down like that, especially twice. Again, on primetime TV, the whole world's watching, and it's sad. So it's definitely something I'm going to be continuing to follow for sure.
So, I mean, this also brings a follow-up question, which is another week 2 highlight. Bryce Young getting benched. Is he a candidate for the Miami Dolphins being traded?
Well, I like what Baker said about it. Did you guys see that? Because Baker Mayfield, I mean, he had success with the Browns, but when he went to the Panthers, he was terrible. And now look at him. So I think Bryce Young will get on another team and get another opportunity, which is what I hope happens. Because when you're number 1 overall pick, I don't think you're necessarily a bust within your first contract.
Let's bring it back. He gets the trade. He gets traded today to the Miami Dolphins.
I think he does well.
You think he's in that Baker Mayfield conversation?
Yes, I think so.
I think he could be.
So. I think so because all the pieces are there. You have 2 great receivers, offensive-minded coach. The running game is there. The O-line might be a little iffy, but going from Carolina where you got nothing to going to Miami where you got essentially a high-powered offense, I definitely think so. But I think they're actually eyeing to sign Ryan Tannehill. I think that was what I saw, but I could be wrong. I don't really know.
Well, they
signed him back to Miami.
Didn't they sign Huntley?
Yep, they signed Huntley.
So, I mean, he's
on the practice squad.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, they're probably just trying to get him acclimated to like the plays and shit.
Yeah.
Same with Kareem Hunt, which we can always bring that up too. But
yeah, I mean, you just look at just one more quick thing about that. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings right now, Sam Darnold, right? Going from a dumpster fire in New York, dumpster fire in Carolina. We don't know how truly good he is. It's the same thing with Bryce Young. We genuinely do not know how good he can be, and that's the sky's the limit for him.
Yeah.
So off topic here, staying with the Carolina Panthers, do you think that franchise needs to relocate?
Maybe.
I think they need to resell the team to an owner that's not an absolute moron.
Yeah.
Everyone in the room going, "Oh, take CJ Stroud. Oh, take CJ Stroud." He goes, "I hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna take Bryce Young."
Yeah.
And like, no disrespect to Bryce Young, but you got a room of football experts telling you one thing and you go your own way, you should not be mad at this result. Also, you've done everything you're reaping what you sow is what I'm trying to say.
No, I guess,
especially when it comes to that.
I get you. I mean, I think D'Amico Ryans came out saying that they won that, or who was the coach last year for the Texans? or the year that C.J. Stroud was drafted, because that coach got
D'Amico
fired.
Ryan.
D'Amico
Lovie
Ryan,
Smith.
Lovie Smith got fired, but he won that last game so they could get the number 2 overall. And who did they draft right behind Bryce Young? C.J. motherfucking Stroud.
Huh.
Guy's a baller.
He is a baller.
And I mean, imagine C.J. Stroud in Carolina. Okay, it doesn't take one player. It's a team sport. But not saying Bryce Young is not athletic, but he is kind of short for his position. And being that he's not Kyler Murray, C.J. Stroud behind the Carolina Panthers offensive line currently, I think would have a better progression in that aspect than Bryce Young. That's just my thoughts on that.
All right.
So, rolling into this, J.K. Dobbins, is he legit, or is this another fluke that we're gonna see him fall off or get injured? No, I don't want to, wish an injury on him, but will J.K. Dobbins consistently? I get it, they're playing the Steelers, but will he be consistent throughout the season?
He is exactly the type of running back that John or Jim Harbaugh, whatever Harbaugh brother is the coach, he is the type of back that guy loves. He's got him, Gus Edwards, and I think they drafted another guy, but he has a type of running back that he likes to run with his offense. J.K. Dobbins, if he stays healthy, I think I don't think this will be like a one and done type of season for him. I genuinely don't. If he stays with Harbaugh, I think he'll be good.
He may be on 1 year, $6 million for the Chargers right now. The J.K. Dobbins, he was a late signing, late signing too.
Yeah, it's a 1 year.
So like, what do you guys? Matt, Will, what do you guys feel? That was a good. I like that. It does follow the suit of where Harbaugh was from Michigan.
Yeah, just having the ground and pound offense, man.
Yeah.
Dude, they're gonna feed him the ball a lot every game.
Yeah, I think he'll be successful. I really do. I think he'll be successful as long as he's healthy. So, and it's kind of like a resurgence for him in a way, So.
And again, that offensive line is good, man. That
really
offensive line is really good. Like I said, I brought up Joe Alt last week, gave him a shout out. Right? Do you know in over 1,000 snaps in college, do you know how many sacks he allowed?
I think 9, wasn't it?
Oh my god.
3, dude.
That's
3.
Crazy.
I'm telling you, that guy is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Joe Thomas.
I'm telling you, man. He's an absolute baller. And that offensive line as a whole is a great package. So yeah, I agree with all you guys. I think JK is going to have a monster year and is going to continue as long as he stays on that team.
I am so curious to watch that matchup this weekend between him and TJ. I am looking forward to that so much. Listen, the Panthers, you knew that they were gonna steamroll. But what he did to Max Crosby week 1, that's a statement. That's a statement.
Yeah.
Now, nothing taken away from Max Crosby. But that guy who wears number 90 is a different beast. I'm looking forward to that so much.
We'll get into this. You have your own spotlight where you can run us through the whole mindset of the Pittsburgh Steelers that day. All right. So, Will, I got to say it. Are the Ravens and the Bengals frauds?
Absolutely. Well, I would say
the Ravens and the Bengals frauds.
No.
I mean, they were both projected before the regular season to be playoff teams. We even said they were playoff teams. Are they frauds at this point?
Absolutely not. And I'll tell you why right now. We're a one bullshit call away from being 1-1 and beating the Chiefs. The Ravens still have a great roster. We know that they have Lamar. The problem right now for them is their offensive line. That is 100% their main issue. All they did this offseason is just patch up holes, and it's showing, right? Why have Derrick Henry when he can't catch a gap through anything, right? So I think if the Ravens can get the offensive line sorted out and just a little bit more disciplined, I think they'll be exactly where they need to be. And as for the Cincinnati Bengals, man, we've caught some bad looks. Week 1 was no excuse. Week 2, like I said, we'll get into that later. But I think the schedule coming up for us is very favorable, especially against the Commanders Monday night. So I think it's way too early to be counting out any AFC North team, even though we're 0-2. For sure.
I want to just piggyback off of what you said with the Ravens. I want to just piggyback off of that. Also, you guys, or them losing their D coordinator to Seattle and them losing Patrick Queen over the offseason, it shows, especially this year. Their secondary is good, but that front seven is not as scary as it was last year, you know? So
Can I just say, though?
I think.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
No, you're good. I'm done.
Oh, okay.
No, you're good.
I just wanted to say, though, like, whoever wins this division is going to go 9-8.
I think that's crazy, but okay.
I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think all the teams are in the same scenario right now. And I think in the beginning of the year, we were thinking it was going to be a strong division. But I think right now, the Ravens are going to climb back. Bengals are going to climb back. Steelers are going to fall a little bit. And the Browns, I don't know about the Browns, really. I think the Browns are same level as the Steelers right now in terms of kind of what we're going to see the rest of the year. So I think the Ravens are going to climb back, and I think the Bengals still have a chance to win this division. And I think a 9-8 record is
9-8.
I could see it, man.
Is going to win
I'm
this
gonna
division.
correct-
I think that's crazy.
I'm gonna correct you there. They're not all in the same scenario. Pittsburgh's undefeated. Browns are 1-1, and Baltimore and
It's been 2
Cincinnati
weeks.
are
Yeah, it's
0-2.
been 2 weeks, bro.
It's been 2 weeks.
We've started the last 3 years 0-3, man. So that's all I'll say.
I kind of don't want to say they're all in the same boat. That's all I can say, because we haven't seen a team go 0-2 and make the Super Bowl, correct? Or is that the weird
Giants.
statistic? Or was it like the
Giants
What was
did.
the weird,
Yeah, and we did it too.
what was the weird statistic about the 0-2 team? Or is that fantasy football I'm talking about?
It's 0-2. You have it's like a 80% chance historically of not making the playoffs, some percentage of not making the playoffs.
Yeah, something like that. And that's where I'm kind of like, yes, the Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens both have high octane offense. But where's the time when the AFC North has the toughest schedule in all football? Where's the time within that schedule where they can go on a 5 to 6 game run without, having a hiccup, having these problems, collude and just smack them back down to earth? That's where I'm just, at, especially for these 0-2 teams. It's going to be hard for them both to bounce back.
But that's why I said whoever's winning the division might only get 9 wins.
9-8.
Because I think the Ravens are still going to be in the conversation at the end of the year. Okay. I think it's going to happen.
Okay. I don't have anything to say about the 9-8 because, hey, I kind of agree, because it's a very hard schedule for all four of those teams. But I have to favor
all of my division except for the Bengals.
I have to favor the Steelers though for the over 9 wins. That's where I would probably stay for right now. Right now, to this day, Steelers are probably, because they're undefeated.
Well, let's see. Let's wait till they play each other.
Let's see who they played. Yeah, but let's see who the Steelers played, right? Who'd they play?
They played no one, really.
And the
Falcons are decent, I think. But
okay, so this weekend, you can arguably say that this is the Steelers' first big test of the season this year, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I would have said week 1 was our biggest test.
Week 1's never a test, dude. I just don't agree.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't agree with that either.
Okay.
I don't think week 1 matters at the end of the year.
I'm doing my very hardest to keep my composure. I just want to let you all know that. My leg is going crazy underneath my desk
if the Falcons were to finish the season 11-6, would, at the end of the year, would the Falcons beat the Steelers? Probably, yeah. If they're that good, yeah. But in the first week of the year, everything's up for grabs.
Okay.
I'm just saying. The Falcons, I think, are going to get better as time goes on. Will the Steelers get better? I don't know.
Now, I will say this. That one win could fuck them in the end for 1, 2, or 3 spot in the playoffs. Excuse my language. That one win, the Falcons.
Oh, the Falcons.
You were saying they were going. That could botch them. That could botch them. And this is where week 1, every week counts for a win or a loss.
That's true.
That's where I just.
I would agree with that, but I think what Matt Hughes is trying to say is just you don't know how effectively people are going to play week 1. It's just kind of a toss up in terms of how teams have been preparing for the summer. Obviously, it was night and day for the Cincinnati Bengals between week 1 and week 2. If we played even a quarter of how we played against the Chiefs, against the New England Patriots, we would have won that game. I promise you. But for some odd reason, nobody was prepared offensively for the New England Patriots. So I definitely agree with what Matt you're saying. But again, every week matters, and that's a fact. There's no easy games in this league. We all know that.
Easily.
So
now go on. Yeah, go on.
Can I have my piece here? Can I crack my knuckles real quick? So I get what you're saying with week 1. I get that. But here's my rebuttal. You have all off season to prepare for week 1. Now I get it. You got Kirk Cousins coming off a Achilles tear, and you don't know how he's going to be. But all of us, me included, we're saying, oh yeah, the Falcons are going to walk away with their division, easily going to win 10+ games. So I don't want to sit here and discredit that win, because I think that was a very good win. You're telling me there's an offense out there with Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts, and we held them to 6 points?
I want to see who you guys need to play a legit team though. That doesn't have a QB who hasn't played in over a year starting his first game, who doesn't have a rookie QB starting his first, the hardest probably defense he'll play. I need a legit team for you guys. I'm just saying, you guys haven't played anyone that is
this weekend
stabilized. That's what I'm saying. Falcons, no. Kirk Cousins, dude, he was super, super rusty that first week. Same Aaron Rodgers. So, and look at what happened in week 2. They both played really well. So, I think they're both going to have a decent season. Russ is real with these guys.
That's why everyone and their moms was on the Falcons week 1. But yet I'm sitting here saying, you guys, Pittsburgh's going to win. And I distinctly remember hearing the words, Diamond, I got the Falcons week 1. I'd be like, okay, man.
I'm just talking long term.
Now that they win, you guys want to be like, oh yeah, well the Falcons had this, and 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 this. Okay, man. Whatever you say.
I could say that after seeing them beat the Eagles. I could say that.
All right, let's put this to rest. For right now. Go from what we thought was the hardest division in football to now is the hardest division in football in my eyes, bearing one team. The NFC South. What in the world? The Buccaneers, the Saints are on a mission this year. We're talking about Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield, and Sam Darnold leading quarterback statistics into week 3. That's the MVP race. I hope you guys know that.
Dude, Derek Carr, someone woke Derek Carr up and told him it's fucking 2016 again, my boy. He has been the best quarterback in the league for the first 2 weeks, in my opinion.
Dude.
I think he's been out of this world, dude. Out of this world.
You know what's interesting, though, is that he had an interview with John Gruden. I might have told one of you guys about this, but he had an interview with John Gruden on his show on YouTube, and he said that he had the best offseason of his life. He PR'd in a lot of his, strength training stuff, and it's showing, and it's showing that he's improved. So it looks cool. It's cool. It's a cool story. I like it.
I just love me some Baker Mayfield, bro. Fucking love Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Baker's the man, too.
Baker's the boy.
To rebuttal with that, Carr is statistically the best quarterback in the league current. Statistically all around, the best quarterback, best QBR, best, I think most yards. It's unbearable. I mean, that might be a matchup to watch when they play each other twice. Bucks and Saints. That might be it. That might be those games that we have to dial in for. I'm just saying, but tell me I'm wrong though, but the NFC South woke up and
super sleeper division.
We are coming.
That's not a sleeper, that's a legit division.
No, I mean before the year started, we had no clue this was gonna happen.
No, we all said they were going to be the worst division in football.
We had the Falcons running away with it. Yeah, everyone had the Falcons running away with that division. Now it's just Derek Carr is good at football. Oh, Baker Mayfield's good at football.
It's unbelievable.
Crazy, man.
So let's go to the opposite Conference, AFC, Will Levis. Back-to-back meme of the week, Will Levis. He dove
He's fucking terrible.
full out peacock style last week, and then the first week on his knees after his game losing pick.
Just
Meme of
not
the
the
week.
answer. Not the answer there.
Did anyone
Just
ever
not
even
the answer.
think he was good in the first place, though? Like, let's
Bro,
be honest.
the fact that he's the most memorable for putting mayonnaise in his coffee is all you need to know about the guy. That's all you need to know.
He's gone
There's
after
nothing
this
more.
year. I mean, it's obvious.
100%.
They're trading for. I mean, they're gonna draft a
Oh, yeah.
QB. Like, so.
Well, didn't he
he's-
also lose his girlfriend on draft night too? Because he didn't go first
I
round.
didn't know that. I had no clue.
She's like,
No, that was a
she's
that was a
like-
meme. That was a meme. She just had like a bad like face on. That was a meme. Yeah, she just the camera. The camera just was
You didn't
panned
go in
over.
the first round. I'm leaving.
Dude, the camera kept panning over to Will Levis, and he just keeps falling back and back and back. And then at one point, is just his girlfriend, his like dad, just like left. They just like took off.
Hey, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get food. You want something?
Yeah, we're
I mean,
getting
it's-
out of here, dude.
It's just sad to see that dude's career strictly be a meme on the internet. It is, but like you can't.
Someone's
got
got to do it.
He did it to himself, bro. He
Yeah,
really
that's very
did. He
true.
did it to himself.
Very true. Very true. I mean, shit. All right. So another one match. What do you guys think about the Raiders this past week?
That was crazy. I can't believe that they beat I could not believe that. I didn't like touch the game in terms of like betting or anything,
Yeah.
but I was like, dude, this isn't like, I don't know. I don't view that game as like a, oh my God, the Raiders won. It's more of like a, oh my God, the Ravens lost.
To the Raiders, yeah, that was crazy. I mean, I remember walking out of Gillette Stadium, looking at the TV and being like, "Are you kidding me? The Raiders just won." Everybody in the stadium was freaking out. Like nobody saw that coming. I think that's probably their best victory, and will be their best victory of the season, unless they play the Chiefs and
Agreed.
beat them.
Dude.
But this also leads. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even ask you.
I
Matt,
just
go
wanted
for it.
to. I just wanted to say, like, I think the Raiders are not. They're not going to be like good or great. I should say. I think they'll be decent this year. But the first thought I had when I saw that they beat the Ravens was, how good are the Chargers then? You know, even though it's week one, like I was saying before, like week one, anything could happen. I mean, it really puts into perspective that division now, because I think there's going to be a lot of upsets in that division now, whether that's the Chargers beating the Chiefs, which never happens, and then the Raiders taking game from the Chiefs as well. I think it happened. I mean, I think these are points that can be made now after these
I mean,
performances.
Raiders have historically taken a game over from the Chiefs ever since they had Jamal Charles. I believe.
Okay.
So I think that's still in the verdict.
Yeah.
Now taking 2 games, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't see that, but I think it's just I was the same way when I saw the scoreline. I was like, I got off from work and I was like, what? I was like, how is this even remotely possible? But I mean, it's good in my favor because obviously screw the Ravens, so I don't care. But huge win.
It makes this week 3 matchup so important for the Ravens against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh, they blow them out.
But
like
then again,
easily.
I love how you guys just said that. In betting purposes, is this a trap game for the Raiders as they go to as they host Carolina?
That's exactly why I don't want to bet the Raiders.
I don't know.
That's exactly why I don't want to bet the Raiders.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
All-time high, and then playing a really bad team who now has Andy Dalton playing.
Do we know?
Especially
Do
if
we
it's
know
in
what
Carolina?
the line is?
It's
Do we
in
know what the
Las
line is?
Vegas.
5.5, Will.
Okay.
5.5.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not
5.5.
I'm not touching that.
I'm not touching it. Not touching it.
5.5 in Las Vegas. I mean, this is their home opener. This is the Las Vegas Raiders home opener. So
But they still are the Raiders.
Gardner Minshew's not bad too, though. He's not a bad.
he's not.
He's not a bad QB.
By the way, Devontae Adams scores this week.
He's balling right now. Balling. He's looking good.
Yep.
with Minshew.
Oh yeah. Now, do I say like I will not touch the game? Okay, yeah. I'm a side. Doesn't mean I'm not going to touch a prop. Like,
Yeah.
there's some props in there that I love, but
Yeah.
we can get into that. All right. Arizona Cardinals finally showed it out. Marvin Harrison Jr. He got his 2. Instant gratification for him. I think he needed that coming after week 1. Great showing from him. Any thoughts on that for the Cardinals win? I think it was like 41 to
Dominant.
10.
Dominant.
41 to
There's
10.
nothing more that needs to be said. They were just dominant.
Yeah.
Kyler did whatever he wanted easily. He said,
Kyler looks insane.
I'm getting pressure. Marvin's down there somewhere. And then just threw bullets to him the entire day, bro.
Fair enough to say.
Yeah.
I mean, Will, you got anything? Kyler Murray. I know we saw the Kyler Murray running around in the pocket. We saw that when I sent it to you, I believe, on Instagram, with him doing the trace where they trace his McAfee. It's insane.
No, I
Insane
think
with that.
I think it's huge for Marvin Harrison. I mean, we've been talking about him all offseason, and he kind of had the dud week 1 against the Bills. But again, that's a tough game to go on the road on week 1 of your rookie season. So I'm happy for him because I have him in one of my fantasy leagues. So like, keep balling, bro. Keep balling, dude.
Facts.
He will be. I think he will be. That week 1 situation where they asked Kyler like, why weren't you throwing on the ball, and he was like, oh, it's not my decision. I think he made a statement week 2. He was like, yeah, this is what we're going to be talking about, and he just made a statement with those passes, those deep balls. So I think the connection's going to stay there. But the Rams had a lot of injuries. I think the Rams are going to struggle a lot now with these injuries. I don't think we've ever seen a team with that many injuries earlier on in the year than the Rams.
2020 49ers.
Oh, really?
Kyron Williams stock going up.
Yeah.
Oh, so I have him in fantasy.
I mean, it's all around in fantasy. To swoop up the recap, I know I'm going to dive into the Vikings. You have all these outs, but on the pick, the penalty for the Bengals, the Giants lost to the Commanders, and the Steelers situation going on against the Broncos. But Kirko Chains and the Falcons stunning the Eagles on Monday night was complete gratification. I hate the Eagles with a burning passion. I just do. I love the fact that Kirko, yes, it was on the Vikings, but went into prime time and won by 1 point. And Matt, you can get behind me here. Saquon Barkley, sold.
Dude,
sold.
It's crazy how people are like, oh, it's a coaching fault because they could just run the ball twice. Even if it's 4th down, they could still push them back. They'll still have to go 94 yards to score.
Yep.
And Saquon should have caught the ball, though, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be a conversation if he catches that ball. So I do want to blame it on Saquon overall. But
I still think that Sirianni deserves a little bit of the blame, too.
He does.
He went for it twice. He went for it twice on 4th down. Or twice on 4th down in the red zone in the first quarter.
Yeah.
He kicks a field goal in any one of those situations, they win.
Yeah,
but
no, I agree.
I do think, yes, Saquon's drop does affect it, but I think Sirianni making those 2 boneheaded plays in the first quarter is worse. My opinion at least, but hold on.
Well, this is I'm going to throw this at you. He saw y'all beat up on them week 1. So he said, if the Pittsburgh Steelers could do it, why can't we in the first quarter? Am I wrong? And Saquon did also have 3 rushing touchdowns against the Green Bay Packers.
I think they wanted to come out. And just kind of get a statement win. I think they thought it was going to be a lot easier game than they actually got, to be honest.
Definitely.
Especially in that first half with the play calling. I agree with what Diamond said.
Brother, if they took a page out of my team's book, they would have kicked the field goals because we kick like 17 field goals against them. So they should have taken the points. So if they're taking my team's playbook, they would have just kicked 7 field goals in 1 game.
Yeah, dude, listen to the Washington Commanders logic. You kick 7, you beat the Giants, dude.
Oh man, I have some beef on that.
I don't even know what to say.
All right.
Nothing.
I have nothing to say. Seriously, I don't have anything to say.
Malik Neighbors did look good, though. Malik Neighbors looked good. That's all you
they
can
got
say.
him open. Finally.
Before we go into these, drastic memes and all this other, slander and banter that we have, we got to talk the undefeated teams that are currently happening. I want you guys to tell me if they're legit contenders, if they're almost there to being contender, or you need them to prove more to you. All right. We can go around the horn, whatever it is, or we can go one by one. I'm going to start with Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champions. You guys tell me, are they legit contenders, almost there, or more to prove?
They're contenders. As long as Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are still breathing, they're contenders.
They're
Yeah,
legit.
We can all agree?
Yeah.
All agree?
not a question.
Legit.
All right, so now we take them, put them in the contenders. Buffalo Bills, are they contenders?
I think they're legit.
I need to see a little bit more. I need to see a little
Yeah,
bit more.
I do too. I do too.
But
I
what do
want
you
to see
got
them play the Jets. I got to see them play the Jets before I think of anything, because they can't beat the Jets. They didn't beat the Jets. They went 1-1, I think, last year against the Jets, or maybe even 0-2. I think it was 1-1 actually. But I want to see Josh Allen go up against Aaron Rodgers with that defense. I just want to see how the game is. I think that game is a big statement for my opinion at least, of the Bills. I need to see them play Aaron Rodgers.
I think they're on the right track for sure, though. But I agree with Diamond. Yeah, that's a huge game, and then just games down the stretch in Buffalo. If they don't, pitter out, and if they stay away from the injury bug, that's going to be huge for them. So I think I need to see more.
I just think they're legit because they probably have one of the best run games now in the league, which is what they've been missing the past few years. And obviously, we all know what Josh Allen is, so their offense is going to be pretty well balanced. And then their defense, I mean, the way they played against Miami was awesome, I think, and that's probably the most explosive offense in the league. So I think they're legit.
In all logic, you can't win. Your team can't win all these games and the Super Bowl all by running the ball.
No, I say that's what they've been missing, though. They haven't had a good run game past few years.
I mean, that's very true. I can also say the passing game is not the greatest for the Bills, right? That's at least what I saw for that Miami game. I mean Dink and Dunk's James Cook.
Backpacking off of what Chow said, the when they fired Ken Dorsey last year and they brought in their new OC, who I don't even know what his name is, but when they brought him in, the first thing he did was start feeding James Cook the ball, and their entire offense became so much better. So I think as long as they continue to do that, like Chowski was saying, I think that now that they have an established run game, it'll make things easier for Josh Allen, and I don't think he throws as many interceptions.
All right. We just talked about the New Orleans Saints. Legit contenders, almost there. More to prove.
More to prove, for sure.
More to prove.
I think they can be contenders, but I think right now I'm looking at. Remember when the Titans were first seed? How long ago was that?
That was 3 years. I remember that very well, dude.
I think something similar is about to happen with the Saints like that. So I don't know if contender is the right word to put for them right now, but I agree with you guys. I think they have more to prove. But I could see that situation happening where they're first seed and then struggle first round of playoffs.
See now, elaborate on more to prove, because statistically they have the best quarterback in the National Football League right now. And on paper, I mean, that offense is steamrolling over the Dallas Cowboys, steamrolling over who they play week 1. I don't know.
The Panthers.
The Panthers. I mean, yes, they're not scary defenses, but we're watching, what we saw with the Cowboys, the Cowboys for the past.
They have to ride the momentum, obviously. They have to just keep it going and see once they get into those other divisional games where they have to play the Bucs, they have to go on the road to Atlanta, then we're really going to see if they're true or not. If they can go into those stadiums and keep it close and win those games, yeah, sure. But right now, after 2 weeks, we're high on them because they've been scoring a lot of points, and statistically they have the best quarterback in the league right now, but that could go out like a light. So, we need to see. I think I need to see more for sure.
I'm putting them in the almost there category. That's where I think they're in that mid tier. If they get over the hump, they can do it. That's what I think.
I like that.
There are travels. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I feel the same way. You guys?
Yeah.
The same.
Yeah, I'm the same.
More proof.
Yeah.
Just because of who they are. Okay.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. What do we feel about this? They're undefeated. Are they legit contenders? More to prove, or almost there? No, no
Go ahead,
bias.
you
No,
two. Go ahead.
no,
Go ahead. Go
no,
ahead. Say
no
your little
bias.
piece.
No bias.
No,
Maybe if they
listen.
score more than what, 18 points. What was the first score? Like, what was the first score of the first game? How many points did they put up?
It's like 13 to 18.
Yeah,
18
I mean,
to 10.
Kick 6 field goals.
if they could learn how to score, I mean, not learn. That's not nice to say. If if they could score consistently, I'll say, I think they could start proving themselves and not be contenders, but they could be a better team than most people probably consider them right now. But for now, I don't think they are a contender because of that. But their defense legit, like top 3 defense in the league. So it just really comes down to the offense.
And
I
it ain't 3 or 2.
I mean,
I think
yeah.
for sure this week against LA is going to be a huge proving ground for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And completely unbiased, I think if they go in and they beat the Chargers, I would put them in contender. I mean, if they can keep it going momentum-wise throughout the stretch and win games in the division, anyone who's coming out of the AFC North is going to win games in the playoffs, man. So that's my thought on it. If they win this week, yeah, they're contenders.
All right, let's bring it home, Diamond. I want to hear this.
What were my choices again? I forgot.
Legit contender, almost there. More to prove.
More to
I
prove.
already know it. More to prove.
More to prove.
Okay.
More to prove. There's too many
Okay.
holes. Way too many holes. There's too many things. There's too many things that make me nervous about this team. Number one is Justin Fields. I want to see him play an entire season under what we've got going and everything. Also, our offensive line, bro, the penalties are killing us. We would have scored at least 2 or 3 touchdowns within the last 2 games in the red zone if we could just not be penalized, bro. Broderick Jones had like 3 penalties in one series. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think defensively, we've got nothing to prove. Offensively is where I'm like, I need a little bit of we need an established number 2 guy to really, put himself out there. The O-line is not where I would want it to be. Najee hasn't woken up yet and doesn't remember how to play football. I love Justin Fields at the moment for us, but I need more. I need to see more. I really do.
I'm not a big Justin Field guy, and you know that. I'm sorry. I don't think he's capable of doing it, especially in that offense. Yes, his running capabilities are great, but has he really chunked that ball downfield
Yes.
ever?
Yes. He threw a deep ball last game to George Pickens that got called back because holding.
So okay. Well, it's not really. It gets evened out there.
I also think that as the season progresses, I think they're going to really lean on throwing the ball a little bit more. I just feel like they're kind of like, baby steps. It's like a walkthrough practice. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of like easing him into it, And then eventually they'll just be like, hey, see that guy number 14? We're going to tell him to go down there, and you're just going to throw the ball that way. He'll go get it.
Fair enough. I mean, it's easy to say, like, yes, but then you also have to think, is Russell Wilson ever going to play?
No, he's trash. I don't want him to. I don't even want him in my city, and I want him out. But
Fair
I'm
enough.
very biased when it comes to Russell Wilson.
Okay. All right. Now let's go to your contenders of the week, Los Angeles Chargers. How do you guys feel? Again, contender, almost there, prove.
Almost there. I think you give them like one more year, one more draft, one more Harbaugh draft, and I think they'll start to, put everything together and be like, oh, maybe Kansas City's not going to run away with the division this year. So I think they're about 1 year away.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say they're probably almost there. Same reasoning as Diamond. Harbaugh draft would be good. And then just seeing how they do in the division this year is going to be huge because obviously if you're going against the Kansas City Chiefs, it's going to be an uphill battle the whole stretch. So if they can keep those games close, I think, yeah, the sky's the limit for them.
Yeah, they're almost there. I'm with that
Okay.
as well.
Okay. Now my contender of the week, Houston Texans. I'm sure you guys all. Yeah. We all
Yeah.
agree.
Oh, yeah.
Contenders, they are.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
big time.
Definitely.
They're there. This is
So
going to
then,
be an elite year for them.
so then bring it to
They're-
Minnesota. Bring it. Go on. What were you saying, Diamond?
I would say they're the 49ers, but 10 years younger.
That's also hot. That is a great take. I'll actually step behind them. I just hate Stephon. I just don't back Stephon Diggs wherever he goes. He's a cancer. I think that's the downfall. That is going to be the downfall. If he can get over his personal drama, okay, the Houston Texans will be a Super Bowl contender. And they will probably dominate in the AFC playoffs. But if Stephon Diggs can't get past of his locker room drama or not getting the ball five to 8 times during a game, they're going to crash and fall harder than known to man. But we'll have to see on that. We'll have to see with this week going against Minnesota Vikings. I want to hear you guys' takes. I'm just going to say probably more to prove because of Sam Darnold we're talking about. But I'll elaborate after I hear you guys.
I would say that definitely, yeah, more to prove. I mean, you have an elite roster on both sides of the ball. I'll give you that. I think Sam Darnold's playing well. Same kind of thing with a lot of these teams. After only 2 weeks, it's definitely hard to say with all the teams in your division as well. I think uh, the true test for where you guys are is going to be when you play the division leaders. When you play the Detroit Lions, that's
We
going to
are
be
the
your
division leaders. We are the division leaders. So that's like
you're
scale up.
sure you're not better than the Detroit Lions is what I'm saying. So once you play them is going to be the true testing ground for how good the Minnesota Vikings are. And with Sam Darnold is playing as well as he is, yeah, you know what? They're going to be all right. You're going to win games. You have won games and you will continue to do so. But I think until you play the Detroit Lions in your own division, I can't say that you're clearly there. I don't think that you are, but I think you're definitely you have the pieces. The last piece is just being your quarterback for the future.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll take that, and I definitely back that because Sam Darnold is not going to be the quarterback of the future. I mean, he's definitely a solid bridge back right now, and yeah, it all comes down to our division. We play the Bears twice. We play the Packers next week for the first time. We play the Detroit Lions late in the season. So yeah, I mean, if it comes down to those last 2 games, it comes down to the last 2 games, and we'll have to see where it pans out. Matt and Diamond, you guys, anything from Minnesota? Sorry, I got defensive there about being division leader. I just like to hear it.
Honestly, I think the Vikings are way better than people thought. I think the 49ers win proved that. And I think Sam Darnold – I predicted this earlier in the year. I think Sam Darnold is going to be comeback player of the year. And I think they borderline, like – I don't even know what to describe them. I can see them getting like 10 wins right now. I can. Like, I really can. And that would be a huge surprise to everybody. But would that still mean they're a contender? I don't know. You know?
So when I say contender, are they eligible to make the are they if they make the playoffs today, will they be a Super Bowl favorite in a sense?
Nah, I mean, we can't put them in that category yet. No.
Okay.
But making
Respectfully,
playoffs,
Greg,
yes.
No, I know we're not. So this is why I want to hear it from you guys.
I think making playoffs is definitely possible. Like 70% possibility.
I think that's your ceiling, making the playoffs. I don't know if you guys win a game. I think that would come down to matchups, but I think your ceiling is going to be making the playoffs, personally.
Yeah,
your floor is probably like 7-8 wins.
All I got to say about them right now is that we're being coached on 12 cylinders. We are V12 running into this league off of Sam Darnold's back. And who would have thought? I will bring this up when I go into what I feel about the Vikings previous game. But, like, man, we're going to have a down game, and it's going to be a spill that'll hit us hard. anything. And it's probably, we might be on the cusp of it being, this is one of our toughest matchups coming into this week against the Texans, fighting to still be undefeated. I don't think we come out undefeated. I'd love for us to, but it will all come down to coaching. It'll all come down to coaching at that rate, because they have some of our pieces from last year, and we have some of their pieces from last year, and all their team are doing great, and Daniel Hunter is doing great. It really comes down to being coached. It really does, and that's what I feel about it. To move this on, I know we're chopping up a little bit longer here, but Seattle Seahawks is probably the last undefeated team that I believe so. What do you guys feel of them going into the week? And they are playing. They are playing the Dolphins.
They're my lock. They're my lock for betting this week, but I don't think that they're anything to. They're not. I'm not worried. If I was in their division, if they made the playoffs, I'd be like, yeah, this is a layup.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Same exact
Agreed.
way. I think Gino's playing great, though. I think he's really good.
I'm kind of in that almost there. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh wow.
If they can get JSN and DK on the same page, and then still have Tyler Lockett, who's literally the old man on the team at that rate, consistent, and then figure out what the hell's going on with Walker's oblique injury, that team could roll straight through. We just saw the 49ers go down on Deebo Samuel. I don't know if he's playing this week. I don't think so.
No.
They lost George Kittle, and I'm hearing tendencies of fucking CMC possibly being out longer than 9 weeks at this rate.
Damn.
And I mean, I hate to see the Niners go that bad, but it's proved to shown that injuries are a huge matter in the NFL. And truthfully, I think Seattle will rightfully so take a place in the NFC West. That I can't, unless I see some matchup on paper that is like, all right, this is a game that's like make it or break it for them.
Are we then predicting like the Rams and 49ers to fall off the face of the earth this year type of deal?
I think so, because Puka, Cup are out for them. Stafford has nobody to throw to besides Tyler Johnson, dude who served cold cuts at Stop and Shop last weekend. And then the 49ers only have Ayuk, who's out like a baby boy because he didn't get his lollipop at 7-Eleven. So what are you talking about?
I mean, yeah. I mean, let's say Puka comes back like within
Week
the next
6.
I'm just thinking, like, I don't know if they will be able to even beat them without these guys. So if they were to come, I don't know when they're playing both of them. Like maybe their second time they play them, like the Seahawks versus the Rams and 49ers. I'm saying they'll probably be fully healthy. I just don't know if they'll be able to beat them when they're not healthy yet. I don't know. And the Cardinals are great this year. Like I actually think the Cardinals are good. So, like their defense is good, but their offense is going to be flying this year. So I can't be high on Seattle at all. Like I just can't right now. So it's just hard to. It's just the division's tough for them. It really is. I don't know if they'll be able to beat everybody. Just
fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, it's very true. Like you can't really be behind Geno Smith.
I still think he's playing great though. I think Geno's really underrated. It's just the rest of the team and rookie head coach.
Yeah. I know D Russ is probably living his best life right now, Will.
Nah, dude, he feels the same way, man. He's like he's very iffy about the situation, dude.
I mean, it's kind of like
all he cares about is that Washington State beat Washington in the Apple Cup last weekend, bro, in college. That is all he cares about right now.
Oh man. All right. So who wants to go first? Floor is yours. I mean, I can roll off the Vikings because we came off of the Niner, or we can go to what else is going on. If you want me to start, I can just jump into it. I think, anybody want to take the floor on their game this past week?
I don't got much to say. I think everything that's been said about my team, at least, I don't think I need to elaborate on anything more.
All right, fair
All
enough.
right. Well, since my game is about to start the next American Civil War, I might as well. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go too crazy into it. Right. All I'm gonna say is this: we had chances to win the game. Harrison Buckner at the end of the day has to make the field goal, and he makes the field goal. All right. But at the end of the day, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I do not know how you make that call at that time of the game. I just don't know how you make the call, man. I don't get it. Because then the whole game, all 4 quarters, just comes down to that. And we can break down the play. We can talk about it. I'm sure we've all seen it 1,000 times. We all disagree on it.
Bro, I got to just say, I'm on your side, Will, and I got to just use this analogy, which is what I've said before. Imagine someone in the NBA taking a half-court shot and getting fouled to win a buzzer-beater half-court shot. How often does that happen? Never? I don't think that's ever happened before in the NBA because the refs let them play no matter how much contact happens. Why isn't it like that in the NFL?
That and they're not dumb enough to foul them at the end of the game.
No, but there has been fouls at the end of the game at the end, like for buzzer beater threes. There has been, but they don't call it though because they know that the refs are then indicating how the game will end if it gets to that point. Why are they allowed to do that in NFL if it's the same exact thing?
What are you supposed to do as a D? What are you supposed to do?
It's a physical sport, and you're playing your life like you're gonna do anything not to let this guy catch the ball. Anything, as long as it's in the parameters of the rules.
My thing is this: is if I'm coaching DBs, just don't jump. Don't jump with him then. He did everything. Anthony did everything right. He high pointed the ball. He did not go through the back of them, bro.
He didn't push his back.
He did not.
He did.
No, he did not. He went for the ball. Pushing back. This is pushing your back. This is pushing. He going for the ball over him.
We can't argue about this, man, because it's never gonna get solved, dude. All I'm gonna say, the bottom line is you do not make that call at that time of the game. You don't make it. Because there was more than enough contact on multiple other plays during that game that were never called. Never. Against us, against the Chiefs, against everybody in that game. There was more than enough contact to have the same logic to call as the one in the last play. So I don't know how you, on 4th and 16, at the end of the game, make that call, everything's erased. You can go back 2 years ago, AFC Championship. When we pushed Pat Mahomes out of bounds, okay. That was a stupid play. That was boneheaded. No reason for that. They pushed him late. They put him in field goal range. Harrison Buckner wins the game. But to call that when Pat Mahomes got outplayed and the Chiefs got outplayed is just so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating when teams get breaks. And it's a break.
And it's happened to the Bengals more often than anyone against the Chiefs. It's crazy. Last year's same exact deal.
I mean, all I gotta say is that I like what you said is how do you make that call on the last play of the game? How do you make that play on the last play of the game? Because as I said before, all the attention is where the ball's being thrown on the last play of the game. Everybody knows that. We saw it in the Super Bowl against Philadelphia when the Chiefs did it. Bradbury's magical penalty, but the ball was thrown that way. The ball was thrown to Rashee Rice, and why does he go up, hit him with his chest, block his face, and make that play? I mean, yes, we can make the argument he didn't actually push him. We don't know. We don't know the logic. We weren't all there, but we can see it off of film. Okay, whatever. But why make that type of maneuver to try and block him when he could have knocked it out of him?
What's he supposed to do?
The ball was what was he supposed to do?
You tell me, what's he supposed to do?
I mean, there's plenty of other things he can do. Is probably contest the ball, not him.
He was going for the ball. I think.
What you think is a highly opinionated answer. What we know is that he went for him. He didn't go for the ball. He went for him. He went straight.
But let's not
him.
forget,
And we even said
the ref threw his flag 3 seconds after the play, or maybe less, maybe like 2. Still, like, he had to think about it before throwing that flag, which is like still like what? Like, you had to think about that. If you're not sure, don't throw it. That's
I
my
mean,
opinion.
If it's this much 50-50, why is the flag thrown?
He was a late flag.
Shouldn't the bias be given to not throw a flag than to give it?
That's what I think too.
If it's
Let him play.
50-50,
No matter what
Then-
team's playing.
what's the point of having New York headquarters? Because they also have people diagnostically staring at these games to call the referees and say, throw your flag.
This
and
is
they
like,
still don't get it
this is-
right.
but we could get deep into this because Will and I watch soccer, and the second they brought in VAR, which is is literally
Yes, yes,
referees
yes.
that sit in the back and tell these other refs on the field what to call. The sport has been changed for the worse. And if that gets into the
But-
NFL's mind, I mean, it's not going to be
It's
better.
already in the. You sent the meme out to the group chat, the Saints and the Rams situation. It started there.
All right. I just
It
think it's bad
started
though for
right
the league.
there.
That
Okay,
call was
I want to
stupid,
say
though.
my piece about this entire thing. Listen, I'm going to put this as nicely as I possibly can. I get it. I understand where you're coming from. And yes, it does suck to have the game end the way it did. But listen,
I agree.
at the end of the day, if you open up the rule book and look at DPI, you can't argue it, bro. If that same situation happened and it was reversed and they threw the flag, you'd be jumping up and down in joy. You'd be like, yeah, it's definitely DPI. I get it. It's the Chiefs. Yes, I get it. It sucks to have the game end the way it did. But at the end of the day, bro,
Why don't you consider all the
he
neutrals,
did
though,
DPI.
that are
He
saying
did DPI. He did DPI. That's it.
But what about the obvious hold on the exact same play?
Also, Will, going backpacking off of the point you said earlier, what the defender's supposed to do. Listen, I'm not gonna glaze Mahomes more than fucking Chris Collinsworth does. But listen, Mahomes put the ball where only his receiver could catch it, and your defender tried to make a play on the ball, which he's supposed to do, and it resulted in DPI. Okay? So, do I think you make that call at the end of the game? Yeah, but it also sucks to have the game end that way. Like, for instance, if I'm in your shoes, when the Steelers play the Chiefs, right? And the same exact situation happens, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would pop a blood vessel in my eyeball because I would be that mad. I wouldn't want to talk to anybody. I would throw my phone at the wall.
Yeah, dude.
But
Trust
I'd be
me,
able
man.
to say after watching the clip 18 million times, because that's how we are now in media, especially with sports. I'd be able to say, okay, yeah, that is DPI. You know? And
Yeah,
I'm not
dude.
saying that you gotta say that. You're entitled to your own opinion, but
I agree, and I get it, man. It just sucks, dude. Yeah, I was at Greenville Airport and I frisbeed my iPad down the jet bridge after the game ended.
You gotta do
Frisbee,
sometimes. dude.
Frisbee, the iPad is hilarious. You're just sitting there, just like, man,
Yeah,
you
dude.
just watch it.
I launched my company iPad about 20 yards.
And the tax write-off.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's
You want
It
more
is what it is.
refereeing or less?
It
That's
is
what
what
it
it
comes.
is.
You guys want more refereeing or less? I mean, answer that question. Because if you say
I'm not
more,
answering that question. I'm not answering that question.
you know
because
what?
they did the right thing. They did their job, bro.
Controversial calls is the right thing. I mean, it is.
Controversial calls. This isn't a fucking Hail Mary situation, bro.
It is a
These guys
controversial
get it
call
right
because
more
we're talking
whatever you
about
say,
it.
bro.
If
Whatever
we're
you
talking
say,
about
man.
this,
Yep.
it's a
Yep.
controversial call,
Mhm.
and I think the rest of the league thinks that too.
I want to move away from this. I will say that interception. I don't know
By
who it
Cam
was.
Taylor
That's
Britt.
the pick of the
Cam
year.
Taylor
Oh,
Britt.
that's the
Cam
pick of
Taylor
the year.
Britt, dude. Yeah.
My gosh,
That was the best.
is
Yeah.
a sick interception, dude.
Cam
The
Taylor
best
Britt,
interception.
dude. He's a dog, man. He's an absolute dog.
I will
Absolute
give
dog.
that. I will give that. That's probably the play of the year so far. We have to see how the rest of the year fans out, but that is, especially do it on one of what we call the GOAT conversation QBs. I mean, that was a great pick. Great pick. Kind of want to move it towards you, Matt. I just have to say this. You're the first team in NFL history
Yeah, I know.
to lose in regulation, scoring 3 touchdowns and allowing 0
I mean,
to your opponent.
I have nothing to say about the Giants until they actually give me something to talk about. Because right now, I'm just going to be saying the same thing every week, which is bad coaching leads to these type of results. Bad players in certain scenarios lead to these type of results. And until they fix any of that stuff, it's going to be the same thing every week. I think the only way the Giants beat a team this year is simply through matchups, like if they have a certain matchup that is on their side. But, I mean, I don't know what's going on with them. Graham Gano gets hurt the first play of the game. He was already injured that Saturday. They don't sign an extra kicker, even though they have a roster spot. And then they have nothing to say about it. Like, I just don't understand. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So that's bad coaching. Player wise, defense, they didn't punt once. The Commanders didn't punt once that whole game. So I mean, if I could just look at certain players on the team and be like, oh, he played well, but I'm not doing that this year. Like, I don't want to do that. When you're doing that, it just means your team sucks. So I'm just gonna there's nothing really else for me to say. So
Maybe if there was more refereeing, you guys would win more games. You know.
this guy, I can't believe you're defending the refs like this. That's crazy.
We don't need trolls.
That's
Need trolls
crazy.
right now.
You're so butthurt about the refs. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm the
dude,
one
we got a
butthurt,
lot.
even though you're the one. You two have been the one bitching about it this entire time.
I'm pro sport.
We got a lot of Chiefs fans in this podcast tonight, man.
Yeah,
a lot of
that's
Chiefs fans in here.
crazy.
A lot of
That's
Chiefs fans.
Crazy.
I'm pro player.
That's
I'm
crazy.
pro player.
Yeah,
I'm pro football.
player.
I'm pro football.
Yeah.
The game of football. The
All
game of football. That's it.
Let's move past that topic.
I'm not pro media.
Let's move past that topic. We're done with that.
I didn't say anything.
Let's move past it. We're done with that.
Yeah. Until the next time this happens, and then I gotta hear it again.
Only happens with the Chiefs.
All right, no, shut up.
Sure.
I'm gonna take
Write that on my gravestone, bro. He was killed by DPI. Write it on my fucking gravestone, bro. Bury me. Let me down one more time.
Oh, all right. Can I just say my piece about the Vikings victory this sick? We beat the Niners. I loved it. 97-yard touchdown to Justin Jefferson. Can't stop him. Great. Sam Darnold. I think he's in the reclamation period that we saw Geno Smith. And if that happens, Jets fans, there's no hope for you guys, for the Jets organization. I mean, you will probably lose your fandom after Aaron retires. Say goodbye. But I will say there's still hope in the air. We're out at 2-0. Houston's going to be a tough matchup. Very tough matchup. Also, I can't emphasize the coaching on both sides of the ball, like I said before. I think I spoke too much about that to its pulp, so let's leave it there. I do want to bring up how the Steelers, for you, Nick, they love to run the ball. We can all agree.
Don't ever call me Nick ever again.
All right, Diamond. We could all agree that the Pittsburgh Steelers love to run the ball. And continue with it.
Of course.
That is the Justin Fields way, and that is the reason why you guys will probably lose more than 5 games this season.
I mean, to be very honest with you, if a team scores 2 touchdowns, we're already, in the hole.
But I mean, I'm not even going to try and say anything about your defense because it is the best defense in the NFL. But I will say, if Justin Fields does not throw this ball and does not become a quarterback that we see Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick, what he turned into, yes, they love to run the ball, but dude, that could be the death of you. That could really be the death of y'all. Missing the playoffs, not achieving the highest game. Your ceiling's high. You're 2-0, but it's Justin Fields' way right now. We saw what happened in Chicago with him. I think it's going to happen with Pittsburgh.
Don't compare Chicago's franchise to mine. Don't
I'm
do
not.
that.
I'm not comparing franchises.
Chicago's a mess. Chicago's a
I'm
mess.
I'm comparing teams.
Chicago is supposed to have this. No. I think him going to Pittsburgh was a great situation for him. Chicago didn't give him anything. I have defended Justin Fields for the past 3 years, even before he came to the Steelers. And I said over the past 3-4 years that he was in Chicago, they got him one weapon. That one weapon was DJ Moore, who they got literally the season before they cut him, or not cut him, but let him go for a trade. So
Okay, so
no.
Pittsburgh has one weapon, and it's George Pickens.
I see where you're going. Yes, we have that, but also I trust Pat Freiermuth more than Cole Kmet, and also our O line is better.
Is better. Yes.
Is better.
But
and I like our running backs better. Najee Harris and Jalen Warren are better than Khalil Herbert and whoever the fuck is behind him.
You can see where I'm going with it, though. If he does not become a pocket, any type of pocket presence, it's going to be a rough one. And teams can acknowledge that if they're seeing that already happen from previous years when he played on Chicago.
Well, I don't necessarily believe that him moving outside the pocket is necessarily a bad thing. But also, on top of that, majority of that's not just him being like, oh, I've got the ball, let me run outside the pocket. No, a lot of times because our offensive line is not the best. I'm very scared when we play a competent D line. I'm like, for instance, this weekend, when they play Khalil Mack and a Bosa brother, oh, God. Oh, my God. I think Justin Fields going to be running for his life.
Do you guys play the Jets this year?
The Jets? I don't think so, no.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just want to say that. Will, Matt, you got anything about the Steelers?
Oh, we do play the Jets. We play the Jets the week before we play the Giants.
Oh, there you go. Already in Manhattan.
There you go. Might as well stay the week.
I was just thinking, like, the comparison with the Bears, I think it's honestly kind of valid, but at the same time, the Bears defense is super underappreciated. I mean, they only allowed 19 points to the Texans?
We're just talking about the offense.
Oh, okay.
Defense
offense. I mean, Steelers' offense is better.
Night and day, man.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Bears' offense looks abysmal right now. So I mean, that's pretty obvious. Steelers' offense is definitely better. So, yeah. But defensively, I mean, I just brought up the defense because I was like, Bears' defense is kind of underappreciated. I think they're doing pretty decent. I mean, obviously the Steelers are better.
It ain't my defense though.
No.
My defense, we have no holes. There's no holes in my defense, period.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Very fair enough. But that wraps up this episode of the week 2 recap and Thursday Night Football. A little bit of love for our teams and hatred, as we all have. Join the Discord. I'll drop them both in the link. Definitely do the pick'ems, weekly pick'ems that Matt has supplied to us in that, as well as join the lab sessions I have on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, so we can lab up some props, sides, and whatever else you guys want to talk about. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and catch you on the next one.